the background's back.
Woo!
We love it. You join us here today. Yeah, work in progress. But you join us here today for our very first episode of our new series on friendship.
Yeah.
We're so excited! It's gonna be great.
Guys, and episode 1 is gonna be all about how we encourage slash champion slash best love our friends, because I think Soph and I have realised that is a really key part of our friendship, like intentionally championing one another. So to start, we thought we would just kind of explain what that actually means to us. Championing a friend basically means choosing to celebrate them and love them consistently for who they are, what they're doing, choosing to support them in like every opportunity that comes their way, choosing to when you think something good about them, choosing to tell them, kind of that kind of vibe, essentially encouragement. We all love a bit of encouragement.
And I think particularly in these past few months, Rach and I have really just been exploring like what that means within our friendship, how we can do that well, but also this whole other side to like, obviously I think most of you guys will know we're Christians, we love Jesus, we follow Jesus, and peace and love everyone. No, but like as part of like the Christian faith, it's spoken about so much in the Bible about loving one another well, building each other up, encouragement, and so also not just exploring it within our friendship, but as a Christian, what that means to us as we like pursue faith.
Essentially, like it's a key part, I think, of any friendship, whether you're a Christian or not, but also particularly, like Soph says, as Christians, we feel called to intentionally encourage people. Like that's what Jesus did, isn't it?
Yeah. What would Jesus do?
But yeah, so as an amazing thing as encouraging your friends is, I think Soph and I have had many a chat about the fact that actually sometimes it can be easier said than done, and there are like many different factors that can kind of prevent you from like, you know, pouring encouragement into your friends. And I think specifically for us, like we do pretty much not everything, but loads of stuff together. Like obviously we're housemates.
Number 1.
We're work colleagues.
Channel.
Both in the sense of YouTube stuff and
our internship.
So, and then we're friends. What else are we? Dance partners.
Vocalists. We've got a little duet. What else have we got? Few stuff in the works.
But essentially, like obviously our friendship can be quite intense. So I think a few weeks ago we basically realised, well, I think I brought up, actually this isn't even a few weeks ago, this is a month ago now, but I brought up a conversation where I was like, Soph, bro, like I feel like lately, what did I say? I was like, I feel like we've become a bit comfortable, like to the point where we're kind of treating each other like siblings, which is fine in some circumstances, but also like we're just snapping at each other now.
And it wasn't even. It
wasn't like that.
It wasn't even that, but like
no. You
know, you just live with someone. And you're just going through the motions of life. So it's not like, hey mate, like let me just drop you a text just to say how great you are, when she's literally living in the room next to you. Like.
And I think on top of that, it was like a lockdown. Things were kind of intense anyway. I just felt like, oh, like we could probably be a bit kinder to each other or a bit more intentional. So I think we pretty much identified like three or a few things that can kind of like lead to you struggling to champion each other.
And intentionally be kind, loving, supportive, encouraging. So the first thing was like tiredness. Like literally when you're tired or you're doing something that is like you're just kind of a bit low on energy, your mood's a bit low, it's so easy to just like forget your manners, even just forget like how to speak kindly to one another, because you're just like
well, I guess it's much easier to make a snappy comment than a nice one when you're tired, essentially. And then I think the second thing was like comfortability, like we were saying, like obviously at this point like we are very comfortable around each other, but that means that you can sometimes like not filter what you say. In some cases, like it's beautiful that like we don't feel like we always do have to filter what we're thinking, but obviously like there's a time and a place, really.
And the final thing that we kind of were like, this is definitely probably contributing to our maybe lack of encouragement with one another, was just the intensity of our friendship. Like Rach said, we do loads of stuff together, we're with each other the whole time, always having to work together, which is incredible. I love it so much, but again, it kind of feeds into that whole comfortability, always with each other. Like I think, like, because I always think when I have friends that I don't see often or don't talk to loads, you're way more inclined to be like, mate, like, miss you so much, like, you're great at this, like, miss having you around, you bring so much joy, da 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 da. That stuff was lacking, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think, like, one final thing, we were just thinking generally about friends and girl relationships and this kind of thing. Like, one other factor that can prevent people from encouraging one another is probably jealousy.
Yeah.
Like we spoke about in our first video, the green-eyed monster. Oh, like, we're both in
got a lot of green
clearly
today,
very jealous. But just that whole thing of, like, actually sometimes, like, you know, if we're all being honest, like, jealousy gets in the way of you choosing to, like, say something encouraging when your friend does something well or gets a cool opportunity. And we were chatting a bit about my job.
Like, even this was another conversation we had, like, towards, it was probably like October or November time or something, but essentially just like this situation that we're in at the moment with like, we did, like we said, it was like in that moving video, we were like, you know, we've moved here, we've done this internship,
both
like,
looking for a job.
both looking for jobs, and like Rach was like, you know, you were getting, so you've got like essentially three jobs now, which sounds like loads, but
no, they're all like part-time.
She's got like three kind of different stuff, or like companies, organisations, whatever you want to call them, charities that she's doing social media work for, which is like fantastic. They were all kind of just people that you knew asking you to do them, because obviously they know you're really skilled in that area, so, you know, just encouraging you. But yeah, like, so she's getting asked to like do these jobs, and I'm like, obviously your mind goes, well, for me, like, my mind goes to two places. Like, there's a side that's like, oh my gosh, so incredible, Rachel's being asked to do these jobs in an area that she loves, in an area that she wants to pursue as her like career, how incredible. And then, like, you know, the jealous part of your brain, the green-eyed monster comes out. he comes out and starts going, oh well, you know, I've still not got a job, I've not been offered that, like, why haven't they given, like, why haven't they asked me? So in that moment, it's really an intentional choice as to whether you let your own emotions kind of drive your reaction and drive your language and how you kind of like congratulate that person or celebrate them, or whether you kind of put that aside and go, no, do you know what, in this moment I'm going to really intentionally be like, I'm so happy for you, like, well done. And
so yeah, and like you say, it's such an intentional choice. Like, I can think of like countless times with different friends where it's been like, in that moment you just have to like choose to push aside like Soph says, the insecurity or the jealousy, and like just choose to really like congratulate them or celebrate them. And then you know, and then obviously, like, again, like, as Christians, like, then, like, you know, you can process that with God, like, you can go into your room and like let those feelings out, you know.
And we even had a conversation about it anyway, because it was like, you know, it was, I can't even remember how it started, but I think we were just like in the car, and I was just saying like, oh, like, Rach, obviously I'm so happy for you getting these jobs, like, can't tell you how proud I am, but you know, there is a part of me that's like, you know, it's upsetting because it's like, I still haven't got a job.
I think definitely for us in that moment it was like the best thing just to chat about it. So I think that's what we would say, like, on that point, like, literally just bring up the awkward conversations, like, just name how you're feeling, and there's literally so much freedom in it.
You feel like you can actually just be really happy for them, because you kind of said like, oh, this is what I'm finding hard about it. You kind of pushed that away and got rid of that, and then you're like, right, now let's get on with like celebrating, encouraging.
Let's find Soph a job.
But I think, like, it's one of those things where it's the communication, it's just chatting, and it's being intentional.
So yeah, I think essentially, guys, our main point of this video is that Soph and I both feel like really strongly that it would be so cool for like us as a generation of young people to kind of like go against the kind of stereotype that the people that you're closest to are the people that you can like vent to and like speak unkindly to, like, you know, kind of family dynamics. And like we say, to some extent that's beautiful, and it's great that you have people that you can do that with, but actually, why isn't it that the people closest to us are the people that we like intentionally choose to speak most kindly to? It makes sense. You know what I mean?
And it's so weird that it's backwards, but you know, it's like, you know, I show my friend I love them by like bullying them, and you're like, what? Like, when you say that out loud, it's like, yeah, we've got a really weird friendship dynamic, like, I basically just like bully them, and
like,
you're like,
like, words have power, mate.
Yeah, so let's cut that out, guys. But yeah, so we kind of wanted to finish this video with like, kind of condense our thoughts, give kind of 3 kind of condensed tips on like what we kind of will feel like is really important, and how we can really be intentional with championing, loving, encouraging, celebrating, whatever word you want to use, our friends.
Love it.
So, number 1, here we go. We feel like it's really important to have some time where you just reflect on your friendship with that person. So, you know, again, maybe it's like us, where you're in a friendship that you've had for a long time, or you're very familiar with the person, you maybe live with them, or you see them all the time. Like
boyfriend, girlfriend as well.
Yeah, but like spend some time like reflecting on your friendship or relationship and be like, how am I speaking to that person? How am I treating them? Am I, you know, doing things that show them that I love them?
Yeah.
You know, all that kind of stuff where it's like, you know, am I actually really, you know, treating this friendship with the respect that it deserves?
Yeah, and also, is that person treating me with the respect that I deserve?
Exactly,
you know? When was the last time they championed me? And then number 2, I think for us, we were saying it would be really cool then to think of some ways that you could kind of help yourself champion that friend. So like we say, like all those different factors that can affect whether you do it or not, tiredness, comfortability, all these different things, like kind of go through each factor and think, okay, in those moments when I am really tired, how can I choose to encourage that person? So for us, one thing that, you know, we've done or tried to do is like memorize a little verse from the Bible that like speaks specifically about encouraging people, and kind of, you know, read that at the start of your day, read that before you go to sleep, just have it, you know, ingrained in your mind. Like memorize it so that in those situations you can call it to mind and be like, no, this is how I'm gonna act. And if you're not a Christian, like whether that's a little quote or
just like, you know, a little, you know, breathing exercise, do you know what I mean? Like count to 10, whatever it is, like
when you're angry, just like, you know.
But in those moments, like, what are some practical things you can put in place to catch yourself in that moment and be like, no, don't want to fall into that again. Let's, you know, bring the light, bring the encouragement, and, you know, let's not have any discouragement.
Or even if it's something like, you know, actually I know that if I do, you know, say something that's unkind, being intentional about saying sorry, like being like, okay,
addressing it,
you know, when I do mess up, actually going straight to that person, being like, oh, I'm sorry for saying that, I didn't mean it, whether it's your mum, your dad, your friend, like, you know, an apology brings a lot of healing, doesn't it?
Definitely. Okay, so then our final little tip that we've kind of thought of is that practice makes perfect, guys. It's a classic phrase we've all heard, but the more we do it, the easier it gets.
I feel like we're like a dentist, like, do you know, and they're like, brush your teeth, practice makes perfect.
But honestly, guys, I feel like sometimes we just get out of the habit of being encouraging. And I know that for some people, it's actually something that just doesn't come that naturally to them. And I feel like you just have to keep trying, keep kind of forcing yourself to do it, like even setting yourself a target of, I don't know, like say 3 encouraging things to 3 people in a day.
If you want to be kind, then you have to encourage people, like it's just, you know, it's inseparable.
It is really important. So like, you know, just keep going at it, just keep trying to like, whether it, you know, find out what like their love languages, if you know what they are, like
do
words,
love language
gifts.
quiz, guys.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description, the love language quiz, but like, you know, words, quality time, acts of service, whatever it is, like, you know, think about, oh, what will really mean a lot to this person, even if it's just a little thing. Oh, I went out to the shops today and I brought you like a little cookie home. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's something that's going to make their day, and it cost you what, like 50p? Like,
but yeah, guys, I think the final thing to say is we did actually write a blog post on this. We wrote a little blog for an organisation called Youth for Christ, and we focused it on the importance of championing one another, because we feel so passionate. So if you want to read any more, or just kind of have what we've said in this video in writing, then follow the little link in the description.
But yeah, guys, remember, we've got plenty more videos coming within this series, so keep your eyes out for those.
Let us know, like, if any part of this video stood out to you, or how you kind of try to intentionally encourage your friends. Like, would love to know.
Yeah.
We'll see you in our next video. Woo!